Jayden Daniels is obviously, this guy's, it's really unprecedented. We've never seen the likes of, he's the greatest rookie season maybe in American sports history.
The Commanders.
Yeah.
I want to talk about them. Coming back to DC. I know you don't play for them anymore, but clearly you know what that means for the fan base.
Oh, I made that commute out to Landover, Maryland, for years, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I would drive right by RFK. It's still standing. It's like decaying. It's in the middle of the Capitol. It's in this awesome location. And you would hear all the stories of the glory days. The hogs and the fan base and the waiting list for tickets and just what a big home field advantage it was. And so pumped for that entire fan base, that organization, that it looks like they're going to be back there because, the current setup's not great, out where it is. And it's not, and game day is so special in the NFL, right? Like it only comes once a week. You only get, 8 or 9 home games. And so excited for that fan base, that organization. It's kind of a sleeping giant, I think, that's waking up.
I know, I was going to ask you
and
that.
so it's great for the NFL too.
Do you think that those glory days are around the corner? Because Jayden, I think I'm not the only one who I love watching him play.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really cool, and they're making tons of moves.
I think, leadership is so important in the NFL, and your leadership at the top, and to see from the ownership to the head coach, Dan Quinn is so good, Adam Peters is so good, the GM, and then they got the right QB.
Yeah.
Jayden Daniels is obviously, this guy's, it's really unprecedented. We've never seen the likes of, he's the greatest rookie season maybe in American sports history. And when you watch the tape, there was nothing fluky about it. This guy is so fundamental. Good. He can beat you in so many ways. And most of all from the pocket, right? I think that's the thing that is so, I think looking forward, that's going to be there. That's not going anywhere. And you combine it with his ability to run. And then I think his clutch gene, right? I don't think we've ever seen a rookie have that many fourth quarter comebacks, clutch moment throws. And certainly to take him to the NFC Championship game, it was crazy. So obviously huge expectations for him, right? Like they've earned those. But I'm excited, I think, like all Commander fans, to see what they do here year 2 of this regime. Yeah.
When we talked to you back in 2021, we asked you about rookie quarterbacks, and I feel like it's time we have another conversation with the new guys coming in. So, first of all, Shedeur Sanders, that slide was crazy.
Yeah.
Cam Ward taking #1 overall. We didn't even really hear a peep from this guy. What did you make of the whole draft for quarterbacks?
I think the thing that jumps out to me the most is kind of the landscape for these rookies coming in. The way the college game has changed with NIL. First off, they're already kind of professional athletes. With the marketplace at the college level, they're staying in college longer, right? Like these careers, you look at last year's class, those 6 guys, it was the same way. These guys are much older. They're 23, 24, 25 years old now. They've played for 4, 5, 6 years in college. And again, they've already kind of basically been a professional athlete. You look at Cam Ward, he went to 3 colleges. Like he's moved and gone and done this. He's had to deal with expectations and leveling up multiple times. And so I think he's more prepared for this, right? And again, he's older, he's more accomplished, he's played more football. I think that's all going to equip him so much better. I think back to, you just didn't have the choices. Again, I was 20 years old when I went #1, right? I didn't have options. And so it was this big jump up to go from the Mountain West to the NFL. And so I'm happy for these guys. And I do think it's why we've seen such great rookie quarterback play the last few years. It's because of this. And Shedeur, no different. Look at, again, the level up. He went to 2 colleges. He's dealt with expectations his entire life, right? It is much more of a natural progression for them. I don't think anybody foresaw him falling in the draft like that. But that's the nature of the NFL draft, though. There are so many surprises sometimes. That's why it is kind of high drama, and I think that's why we all tune in to watch it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for him, but I think the thing I will say is obviously, looking back on my career, the draft is something that it is so special, but it's just a step in the process, right? His next chapter is starting nonetheless, and he's going to be able to determine what comes from this and his opportunity. So, it's not the end of the world either way.
Yeah.
And he has a chance to define what happens moving forward.
Yeah. Well, Cleveland's quarterback room is really stacked.
Yeah, crowded.
Five guys.
Crowded place.
So what do you think he needs to do? You said it is up to him, but what do you think he needs to do to be able to kind of set him up for success?
Nothing special, right? Like just be yourself, work hard, come in, do the little things. You're not going to like change a narrative or go win the starting job with one play. I think the things that I battled, certainly coming in as being a top pick and dealing with these kinds of expectations for the first time, is like I felt like I had to be perfect. And I felt like that for a long time. I felt like I had to be more than myself, right? Like I was the number one pick, and I got to live up to a lot. I'm playing for the Niners. I got to be Joe Montana and Steve Young's. Like that level of the bar was set high in that organization, and at the same time, I'm the number one pick, and like I got to be Peyton Manning, right? Because he kind of sets the bar when it comes to that. So I struggled with that, and so I think Shedeur is more prepared. He's dealt with these expectations for a long, long time, and I think just go be yourself, right? Do the little things, like that's what adds up, right? Like don't be afraid to make mistakes and develop and give yourself a room to grow into who you are. You're not a finished product, but again, I think the little things are what makes the difference, and it's all earned, right? Like you got to go earn the trust of your teammates and the organization.
Yeah. You mentioned when you were drafted in 2005, the pressure that you had being number one overall.
Yeah.
Another person that was talked about a lot in that draft was Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what you think his future holds in the NFL, because it seems like he's got a lot of pressure right now a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we got drafted 20 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so to think about, he's, obviously still an opportunity to play, and obviously, definitely it was, his last couple of years here have been high drama in New York. And, nobody knows what he's going to do. I hope selfishly as a football fan that he plays, gives it at least one more year. I think, as an analyst, like watching his last few games, I thought he got better and better as the year went on. And that's kind of, he went through a traumatic injury, right? Like again, like to bring it, like, and so sometimes I don't think we give people enough time, right? And I think he got even better as the year went on. I thought he got, he got stronger. Less rusty even too, right? You forget he was out of football that long. And so I hope he plays. I think he's good for football. I still think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. Selfishly, yeah.
Last few ones for you here.
Yeah.
So sticking on the topic of quarterbacks, so Patrick Mahomes played behind you, is now the best, if not one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'm curious what you think his future in the NFL looks like, considering the fact that his team, even this last year in the Super Bowl, underperformed. It seemed like a lot of wins last year. They kind of squeaked them by, and it's like, what's going on with this team?
Yeah.
Do you think the road ahead is harder for him moving forward, or what do you see with Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, first off, I think he's put himself, in the conversation of the greats of all time, and to have that kind of sustained success that he's had this early in his career, like we've never seen a start to a career like this ever. I think if you look at the last 2 years and what they've accomplished, given their injuries and that roster, they overachieved. They went to 2 Super Bowls and they won one, right? Like with the injuries they've dealt with, the weapons he's had around him, it's crazy. I think we're going to look back on this and what they've accomplished in these couple of years, and it's been really special. It's just hard to sustain, though. It's so competitive, the NFL, right? Like I think you look at the quarterbacks, the quarterback play. There's so many guys I think that are capable of winning a championship, especially in the AFC. The head coaching is so good across the board, and so it's a tall task, right? But like again, I think if anybody can do it, it's Patrick and it's the Chiefs. Like I think he's. I know he's not happy with the way obviously the season ended in the Super Bowl and their performance and his. I know it's been eating at him, and I know they're like, obviously, they know the road back and they know how hard it is, and excited to watch. Like obviously, I have so many close friends there in that organization and coaches. And again, to watch their journey even this far has been amazing. But I think they can. Like I just think he's wired that way. He's special. This guy just is never satisfied. Yeah.
Last one here for you. When you look over your entire career, what was the most important award to you? I'm curious if it was Comeback Player of the Year. What was the most meaningful moment?
Yeah, gosh. I don't know. I mean, I certainly don't ever sign up to play a team sport for like an individual recognition. I mean, I think ultimately you're trying to win a championship, right? Like that's the best, that's the greatest feeling, is to go do something together. The ultimate, to be a world champion. Unfortunately, you know, I made it there, but never got it done. You know, I think the thing is, from an individual standpoint, yeah, like you never expect to be the guy on the crazy injury highlight reel, right? Like
Yeah.
I am that. Like you just never expect that. I think to have a chance, to have tried to like rewrite that and take control back. You know, that's not my legacy, right? Like in some ways it was overcoming that. I think is really special. I'm really grateful for that. I did not do that alone, right? Like my family, my wife, my friends, my medical care team, my team in Washington, the folks in the military that changed my rehab. Like again, I am such a product of that, of teams, of amazing teams. And so, and I think for me, even sharing it still, like sitting down and like opening up about this and all of that. And again, I think hopefully can be an example, hopefully like, you know, like a link in the chain of hope, right? Like for anybody out there that's dealing with adversity, that's dealing with like a traumatic injury, that's dealing with self-doubt, right? Like again, these are universal, these are human things. You know, so long, like I tried to like tough it out on my own, and like it just, that's not how you get through these things. And so, yeah, kind of opening it up, and certainly even pain being a part of that, right? Like coming back to this, you know, pain management. You know, eliminating the stigma around these conversations, like connecting, like we all deal with pain.
Yeah.
Like why is that taboo? You know, and again, that, you know, hopefully empowering people to connect on these things and like ask these questions, have these conversations. Like it doesn't need to be like that anymore.